Yo, what's up, folks? It's your boy Sports PSP in the building. Hope everyone's enjoying the rest of their Wednesday. Want to talk about some NFL news regarding Eric Bieniemy. That's right, the new offensive coordinator of the Washington Commanders. One particular person, former player of the National Football League, former Kansas City Chief, LeSean McCoy, who's currently on the show Speak. You can watch it every weekdays on Fox Sports 1. He had some criticism about Eric Bieniemy. This is what he actually said about Eric Bieniemy. What's his value? What makes him a good offensive coordinator? The problem is a lot of these people that go on social media, he should be the guy for the job. They haven't played there. I've been in the rooms where he's coaching and he has nothing to do with the pass game at all. When the plays are designed, that's Andy Reid. He goes further. When you talk about offensive coordinators, I can tell you what makes Brian Daboll with the New York Giants a very good coordinator. I can tell you about Andy Reid or Doug Peterson. But Eric Bieniemy, what makes him good? When we watch the film of practices and we correct the wide receivers, the running backs, the quarterbacks, he doesn't talk in there. Andy Reid talks in there. Despite his criticism of Bieniemy, McCoy is rooting for him. This is what LeSean McCoy said. I'm rooting for him because he's a black coach, and I love to see black coaches win. Also, he's a running backs coach, and running backs coaches never get a chance to be offensive coordinator. So I want him to do well. But if I have to do my job and be honest, my thing is, where is the true value at? Now, what LeSean McCoy said about Eric Bieniemy didn't sit too well with his former teammates, particularly Jamal Charles, Tyrann Mathieu, and Tyreek Hill. This is what Jamal Charles tweeted. I have to disagree with you, Shady. Bieniemy coached me 4 years. I learned so many things for EB, and I still keep in contact with him, a great husband and father. He deserves to be a head coach. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, former safety of the Kansas City Chiefs. This is what he tweeted. Man, you effed up with it. And then Tyreek Hill, of course, tweeted, Shady mad. EB told him tuck that ball. And let me just read you these stats of LeSean McCoy under Eric Bieniemy. In rushes, LeSean McCoy had 101 rushes. Career rank second worst. Rushing yards, 465. Second worst career rank. Rushing yards per game, 35.8. Career rank second worst. Also, LeSean McCoy had no touches in the 2019 playoffs. That was the year when the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl against the San Francisco 49ers. So, what do I take from what LeSean McCoy had to say about Eric Bieniemy? He being salty, and he made it personal, and he just doesn't like Eric Bieniemy based on how the way he was utilized during his time with Eric Bieniemy. He just gave Andy Reid all the credit and diminished his value. And he contradicted himself. LeSean McCoy contradicted himself. He said, I'm rooting for him because he's a black coach and he's a running backs coach. The running backs coaches never get a chance to be offensive coordinator. Okay, you say all these things, but you diminish his value. He said it himself. He said it himself. When you talk about what's his value, what makes him a good offensive coordinator? A lot of people that go on social media, he should be the guy for the job. They haven't played there. I've been in the rooms where he's coaching, and he has nothing to do with the pass game at all. When the plays are designed, that's Andy Reid. And you talk about other guys like Doug Peterson, but Eric Bieniemy, what makes him good? You even admitted he doesn't do any of the talking. That's Andy Reid. So, LeSean, when you say something like that, and especially your role with the media and your platform, people around the NFL, they're going to take what you said and they're going to find an excuse not to give Eric Bieniemy a head coaching job. Because of that, because of what you said, it's gonna hurt him, and this will go against him. So I don't know what LeSean McCoy was trying to do. You say you rooting for him, you wish him nothing but the best, but this isn't the way to do it. I get it, you're with the media and you're entitled to your opinion. You get paid for what you do. But if you really trying to look out for Eric Bieniemy and you really wish him the best, you wouldn't say what you said. Because now you're coming across as personal. Now you're coming across as petty or salty. And I'm glad that former teammates called you out on it and shared their experiences. And Andy Reid, to his credit, has said nothing but great things about Eric Bieniemy, has given him his praise. And you rooting for him because he's a black coach. And speaking of that, he brought up Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, John Harbaugh, Matt Nagy, all of them have been assistants under Andy Reid. Were they ever did they ever call plays under Andy Reid? Matt Nagy will be the new offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs heading into 2023. And Kansas City, if Kansas City's offense has another productive season, being the number one team offense in the NFL, led with Patrick Mahomes, led with Travis Kelce and all of them, Matt Nagy is going to get a head coaching job. Matt Nagy is going to get a head coaching job. But Eric Bieniemy, 5 years with the Kansas City Chiefs, best offense in the NFL, still can't get a head coaching job. But meanwhile, he takes the offensive coordinator's job for Washington. Now, for me as a Washington fan, I love it because we need someone like Eric Bieniemy to help us out with our offense. Let Ron Rivera be responsible for the defense. EB can finally call his plays on offense, and we can finally end this to bed. Who's going to be calling the plays on offense? We damn sure know for a fact Eric Bieniemy will. And Washington, look, they're in a tough situation with the quarterback, with whether it's going to be Taylor Heineke, Sam Howell. It better not be Carson Wentz, but that's a story for another day. We have to work on our offensive line. There's some other things we have to improve offensively, but we got some nice pieces. We got Terry McLaurin, we got Dotson, we got Antonio Gibson. We've got some nice pieces. The only questions we have are the offensive line. We need to improve our offensive line and the quarterback situation. Those are the things that Washington needs to address. And I think Eric Bieniemy, if he does a damn good job in Washington, which I expect him to, hopefully this will open the door for him as far as getting head coaching jobs. But back to LeSean McCoy, what you said, your criticism about Eric Bieniemy, I get it. You get paid to do what you do for a living, to give your opinion, your perspective, your experience. But this is going to hurt Eric Bieniemy, and this is going to hurt black coaches. So I mean, I don't know what LeSean McCoy is trying to accomplish, but if he actually thought this would help Eric Bieniemy as well as other black coaches, he's sadly mistaken. And I'm glad that former teammates of his called him out, because they understand what Eric Bieniemy and other black coaches have to deal with. Doug Peterson was Matt Nagy, all of them under Andy Reid. They got head coaching jobs and fine. Got no problem with it. But were they ever accused of calling plays? I mean, Shady, man, I don't know what he's trying to do, man, but he really, he just made it personal. He just made it personal, and I thought it was low. And it was Bush League and petty, salty, whatever word you want to use. But I thought he was wrong for what he did to Eric Bieniemy. So, that's all I'm going to say on that. I wish Eric Bieniemy nothing but the best. I'm happy that he will be the offensive coordinator in Washington. I wish that he becomes a head coach eventually. I hope he becomes a head coach, but I'm glad that he's the offensive coordinator for Washington. And then if he does a great job, hopefully it will open the door as far as getting a head coaching job. And he better take it. So, that's all I'm going to say on that. But like I said, I thought it was Bush League on the part of LeSean McCoy. But anyway, please leave your comments in the comment section below, guys. What do you make of what LeSean McCoy had to say about Eric Bieniemy? Do you think he was inbounds or out of bounds? Are you on Team Shady or not? Do you think Eric Bieniemy will do a good enough job as the offensive coordinator in Washington? Who do you think should be the starting quarterback in Washington? And also so much more. Other than that, it's your boy Sports PSP. Hope you all enjoying the rest of your day. And as usual, God bless.